So it's necessary for former party members and our website, www.itsabouttime.bpp.com, to give you the information you need. Back in the party, Elder Cleaver used to have this saying. It says, information is the raw material for new ideas. So you have to constantly give people information in order for them to have ideas. So we like to generate ideas, information that people need to know for their very function. Even though we started a lot of social programs like the breakfast program, and here on page 12 you see the busing program to prison. That was a way to keep family units together. Because as we all know, the prison industrial complex that we have in America today, you could be arrested in Oakland and shipped to Southern California or San Quentin somewhere, and if you're on a tight income, you might not even have a car. So we provided bus services for families to keep in contact. So there's a whole list of things you can find out on our website, itsabouttime.bpp.com. Rare footage, photographs, history, interviews. So that's basically the first part of my presentation.
Yeah. Me and Billy, also like Sister Charlotte talked, we traveled quite a bit together. We went to Lebanon together. We were also invited when I did the exhibit in Urbis in Manchester, England. Billy contributed many of his stuff from his archives to that exhibit. We went from there. We went to London. Yep. We met up with the London Panthers, who were there back about 4 or 5 years ago. From there, we were invited to Ireland and we went to Ireland. And we were invited to Ireland by Sinn Féin and the IRA. Which they didn't clash with each other, but they both wanted us to come. Yeah. And so we were there during that time. So
also, we went to Portugal together.
That's right.
Yeah. We had exhibits all over the world. You know, we went to visit Sister Charlotte, in Tanzania. We had a big hip-hop conference down there. I met some beautiful, dedicated brothers who hip-hop to them is not like hip-hop to Americans. It's like a way to communicate a message and a positive vibe, So on our website, we have a lot of videos produced by Charlotte and the UAACC from Tanzania as well. So there's information from all over the world. So Emory was talking about that when we was in London, we hooked up with the New Zealand Panthers because they carried Emory and I spoke in Parliament. They actually let us in, and we spoke in the House of Commons, which we found out we was the first kind of Panthers to do that. And the story went out across the world. And so I got an email from a guy named Will who organized the New Zealand chapter of the Polynesian Panthers. And from there, we connected, and he actually came to America, and me and Emory took him around. And then they invited Emory to New Zealand as an artist in residence.
Yeah, I went twice.
Yeah,
but we'll get into later. I want to get into Tarika though. Sister Tarika was as you know, the amazing musician, but also was the first woman to go on the patrols in the Black Panther Party. Back in the day, she was also she was also the first comrade that I worked with as an artist in Black Panther. So she has many talents.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I've been thinking of what I can share with you today. So I think you guys have so much information about the party. I want to take you back a little bit and tell you why it was even necessary for the Black Panther Party to even exist. And so I have to tell you about my family because my family is a big part of California history and for all you history majors out there. So I'll go there. A couple of generations back, my great-grandfather escaped the tyranny of Georgia and made it out here to the mining camps in Sacramento. This was just before California became a state. He organized a militia called the Swords with a Z of not only African Americans but Native people, Chinese, and Mexicans, Spanish people, to fight off the slave catchers dragging people back to hell, and also the Confederacy, because California could have became a Confederate state. And from there, he got the family, went back and got the family. And we're still trying to figure all that out. How was he able to do that during that time? And so from there, settled in San Francisco. And 1906 earthquake, a couple of generations later, they settled in South Berkeley. And that's when my generation came on the planet. For my generation we had a black downtown, which was awesome. Which brings me to my father's side. They came out from Ohio to Los Angeles, Phoenix, Arizona. During the Depression, when we were talking about the Depression, my grandfather taught all his sons how to box. He was a Buffalo Soldier, and he taught them how to box. So during that Depression, the little kids were having exhibition fights. By the time my father was 14, and he became a professional boxer. He won the Golden Gloves, and a few years later, he became the first African American to win the light heavyweight championship of the world. And so his boxing camp was in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. After 1939, he settled in Oakland. Oakland was the asylum. Oakland was the other end of the earth. Oakland was freedom. So we talked about freedom and nation building and this wonderful place. That was Oakland. So we had a black downtown, and I think I grew up in a place, and I feel really, really blessed to have two parents in the home. My father never cursed out my mother. He never hit her. He never deserted us. And I say that for not only my dad, but all the men in the neighborhood. And it was funny, like 6 o'clock in the morning, all the lights went on. You could hear all the cars all up and down the street turning on, and the men went off to work. Mom stayed home taking care of families. And I remember vividly seeing pianos being moved into the homes. We got our piano. That was a status symbol. And so my brother and I got piano lessons, And at that time, all the black families, there was so many kids that played with them. And so, by the time I got into high school, I played in, all the orchestras all the way through, Young People's Symphony, and then we started hearing things about what was going on down south with the student cities and marches. But that was far, far away, never land. It didn't happen. It was not a part of our world. And until I got my rude awakening. And I went to high school with the Pointer Sisters. So we went over to Playland at the beach. I was real cheap then. We had little swimming suits on. Okay, we had our little swimming suits on. And we went swimming. Then we came back to they had a little Playland. And so we saw all this big commotion. And these two big men had this kid. They were dragging him out. And then he started beating him up. And it wasn't that they were policemen. It was like these are two grown men hitting the kid. And that was just like, wow, everything that was happening down south now is up in your face. It's in your face. Here it is right here. So we started screaming and hollering at them. And pretty soon, there was a crowd. We were the only black folks in the crowd. Crowds surrounding. Everybody else started screaming at them too. We woke everybody else. This is wrong. This is wrong. What are you grown men doing? You're hitting a kid. Grown men, you're hitting a kid, right? And so a riot happened. Well, I'm so glad my parents didn't see me on TV. I'd still be on punishment. So, anyway, that was my rude awakening. I had cousins who were already organized, and a lot of people in the Bay Area were organizing during that time. We're talking about like 65, 66, 67. I was cutting school too. But we were cutting school, hanging out at the college, going to class. Now what kid you know now, cutting school and going to another school to sit in on the class, you sit up there taking notes. Because you're talking about African history and what was happening down south, and Donald Wharton, his niece was my best friend Vivian, and Tucker, he became our first treasurer. That was Donald Ward's nephew. Okay, more about that later. And so, you know, and he lived around the corner. And so I actually met him through the Northern California Black Panther Party, which preceded the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. They were all attending, getting their information and stuff from Donald Wharton. We had economic, we had a black stand called James Brown stand.
And black and brown.
Black and brown. Remember that black downtown I told you about? There were probably over 2,500 African-American owned businesses between 5th Street and 7th Street. And the black belt went down Sacramento into South Berkeley. Okay? 2,500. Just between those two streets, my grandfather had a boxing gym and a hotel upstairs, and you could come in on the trains, and you can go there if you didn't have any money. We didn't have homeless shelter. You stay here. Come on in. Save your money. Send for your family, and pay us when you can. And people shared like that. Doctor would come to your house. The milkman would come to your house. So this was heaven. This is what freedom looked like. And then the powers that be decided, they had a committee of businessmen and politicians in Oakland. And they decided they were going to use eminent domain to put in the 880 freeway, the post office, and Barton. Which they could put the Barton anywhere. They could have put the freeway anywhere, but they decided to put it right down there where all the businesses were. And so my grandfather's hotel that should have been passed down to my brother and myself, and my grandson should be working in there. It got destroyed. I remember we moved. They had the force. They were forced